No. Hi to hello. Jamie and I were both watching the comments, and we're a
Now
little
they
bit
are.
nervous that Facebook is not here yet.
They're here. I see them.
Oh, okay.
I think
Facebook
you were
has
just-
finally made it in.
You were just slow rolling it a little bit.
No, these are in real time. Hey, folks, Jamie, do that sticker off my hat, please. Guys, I just grabbed a hat out of the safe. Never been worn.
I also just watched him put hand cream on his lips.
They were very chapped, and I did not know it was hand cream. You can't get it off?
Hold on, it's so close.
This is embarrassing,
Stop
babe.
moving.
Those stickers are on there pretty good. No, I didn't know what this was. I got it out of the we have a drawer in the little extra bathroom over here, and that's all I could see right there. You can't read anything on that because the lid is all tarnished. I saw a cow. I didn't know what it was. So when I opened it up, I'm like, oh, good. I need some of that for my lips. And so I put it on my lips, and then Jamie says, that's hand cream. I'm like, well, why is it in my bathroom? So anyway, I have hand cream on my lips. For you guys who are just jumping in, hi to hello, welcome. Let me hide that comment. We just played the last pictures that we've received, which will be chapter 5. A very short chapter with just 30 pictures is all I could find. But Jamie went through all of her emails. I went through all of my emails. We did all the WhatsApp, anything that we've been sent. So as of right now, every picture that you have sent us with your Voodoo fundraiser shirt, we have posted, and they've been on one of the 5 videos.
Sorry, I'm going to fix that because people are looking at the ceiling there a little bit.
They've all been. Well, you got to let me suck in before you start
pulling your life together there, Morrow.
Don't ever just aim at my belly without telling me first. I'm playing. Anywho's, so yes, so there have been a few emails about, hey, I haven't seen my picture. Where's my picture? So as of right now,
we feel like we're caught up, is what Lester's saying. We feel like we have done our due diligence. So
now, before you send pictures again, please go by and check out those 5 videos to make sure that you're not in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And those are posted all over the Facebook and the pages somewhere. There's 5 chapters total. Anywho's, thank you all for joining us tonight. Hi to hello. Happy Sunday. We're happy to know that Steph and Buddy are on their return trip. If you guys don't know, that's my nephew, Buddy, and his beautiful wife, Stephanie. The Denman homestead have taken off with a
load of donations, and I could feel the exhaustion in their voices and in their, I watched part of their live tonight, and I could feel their exhaustion, but I could feel their emotion. Like both of them put their heart and soul into this. And I don't think that anyone could prepare anyone for what they were about to step into. And I could see it on their faces.
I'm sorry. I almost called it a journey of goodwill. Does that make any sense? Is that how would you say that? It was they went off on a
somewhat a missionary.
of
journey.
goodwill.
Yeah.
And they've taken a lot of donations to folks who've been really hit hard with the hurricane there in the Appalachia area. So we're happy that they're headed back home now. Like Jamie said, we kind of watch some of their live, and they do look tired. They sound exhausted, and I can imagine. So that's a lot of driving in a short period of time, plus a lot to do when you get to your different destinations.
Not to mention the emotion that I think that they both went through. Like, I can't imagine seeing the things or being a part of what is going on in that part of the country. And there's a longing that Steph talked about of like, she had a hard, like really had a hard time. I saw in her video that she's like, I wanted to go, and it took a little bit to like get things in motion to go. And she goes, but whenever I was there, I actually had a harder time leaving than I ever expected. And that like just hit home for me, because I feel like I would have a hard time leaving. I feel like even in some of the things that were going on here this year, and I don't mean here, I mean in Texas and things like that, like when the flood happened in Plum Grove, I think you and I both had a hard time leaving, knowing that there were things here for us to still take care of here at Longhorn Lester's and at JL. But we had a hard time leaving. So I can't imagine the intensified level of things that they saw and that they helped with, and what people are going through. And I can't imagine.
Well, we'll be happy to get them back home. The good thing about the return trip is they're together in the RV.
I was so worried.
And, yeah, they've camped and they've traveled quite a bit. They're a very well-traveled couple. But on the way there, of course, one drove the RV and the other drove the U-Haul or the big box truck. And they weren't actually in the same vehicle. And that's harder, I think, because when you have someone with you to talk to, and, Jamie will feed me. She feeds me as we drive. We have one special road meal that
that is necessary.
So whenever we travel, and I don't care if it's an hour down the road or if we're going to drive to the bakery down, we have to swing by the convenience store and we get Fritos and some bean dip. And then she will feed me bean dip. Everyone already knew that. How did everyone know that already? How do you guys already know this?
You might have spilled your guts a time or two about
I've never said you feed me bean dip. So she does. She buys a little thing. Now, there have been a few times where, where sometimes I will lose words, or I'll forget words, or I'll mix up my words, or I'll forget a name here and there. Sometimes Jamie can do that same thing, but not with her words. So here's an example. We're going somewhere to Silsbee we're doing a trip for her to my favorite nursery, the nursery place where she buys her plants at. And I was going to drive her. So of course, the first convenience store I whip in to get gas, and she's going to walk in and get our roadside snack. And all of a sudden she gets in the, truck, and she opens up that bean dip and pops open that bag of chips. And she puts something in my mouth. I'm like, what? And I have this like little goat face that I make, like, anywho's. And so what she had done was bought the wrong Fritos. Fritos now comes in all kinds of different flavors. And one that she bought was like a Mexican chili sauce. There's some kind of Mexican chili sauce Frito.
They didn't have regular, so I just assumed that he would be okay.
You knew that?
They didn't have plain.
Well, this is all new, because what she told me was, whoops, I didn't realize. And I'm like, well, they're open now. I couldn't eat them. I could not eat them. So what I did was she tried to scoop the bean dip and I would eat it off her fingers. But even that didn't feel right. With
Why
people watching
are you telling all of these horrible things
people
right
don't
now?
care. I'm sure people don't care. So instead, she put the bean dip over toward me, and I would as I'm driving on it.
For the record, I said, next gas station, stop, and I'll go find you at least some corn chips.
It was
too late. Do you know how hard it is to find plain Fritos at a gas station now?
No, too late.
Especially here in Texas. So, like, full disclosure, most of our gas stations have a whole lot of, I'll use the term, ethnic foods now.
Yes, so you guys may not realize this, but we are in a part of the country that a lot of our grocery stores and convenience stores will cater to the culture. And so
what people buy. To be really real, it's what people buy.
So here's an example that you've all heard of. Those little chips called Takis. Takis. If you don't know, then you don't know, and you're not going to figure it out right now. You just don't know. And I'm not being mean about that, but some people just don't get it.
Yeah.
But those who live in a border state, I'll just say a border state, or a state that has a very large migrant population, will know that over time, the cultures, even the grocery stores and things they sell, will kind of shift. And so you have to really look for a bag of Lay's. You have to really look for a bag of Cheetos, because now it's either hot Cheetos or Takis or all of these different things.
Or
chili
things that we've never heard of. And that's not being mean.
No,
or
we're not being
like
mean.
That.
We're happy.
But there are a lot of Spanish brands that actually have made it to the convenience stores around here. There's aisles of things. And
Bobo. Have you ever heard of Bobo?
Yeah.
Bobo it used to be like Little Debbie. Was all of our snacks were like Little Debbie, or who's the other ones that make little snack cakes? Hostess.
Yeah,
no, we don't have those anymore.
Those are gone.
Now it's Bobo.
Yes, and there's also like all these
Bobo. I'm not making that up. It's
plantain
Bobo.
chips.
It's Spanish.
And a whole lot. There's a whole lot of ethnic things here.
I'm happy to see so many people who don't understand, and then there's so many who are obviously aware and say, "Yes, he's right, y'all. He's not just making this stuff up." Bobo.
And it's not just Takis. It's like
it's your beverages too. All of your beverages.
We're gonna have to make a video at the convenience store.
And we're not making fun of nobody,
no.
Guys. We're happy. Hey, listen, I've always said the greatest thing that ever happened to the city of Plum Grove were all of the taquerias that popped up on every corner.
I bet some people don't know what a taqueria is. I didn't know what a taqueria was until...
So I'm not complaining, because I got really fat over the last 7 years. Before y'all met me, over like 7 years ago, before y'all ever met me, I was a very good-looking man in wonderful shape. And then the Spanish neighborhood...
a very good-looking man.
The Spanish neighborhood took over, and that meant a lot of taquerias, which are pretty much street tacos. And they open up on every roadside, on every corner. And at some point, I'm like, you know what? Why do I have to leave Plum Grove? If I'm hungry, I'll just take my bike or take my side-by-side or walk right over to the corner and get me some tacos. And
when he's talking about roadside stands, it's not like food trucks, although those exist too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking like literally sometimes out of the back of someone's vehicle.
Well, don't forget that I met Mr. Leo through his wife, who served tacos out of an
old school bus,
a minibus, a little mini school bus.
Yes. So like they're everywhere. We'll have to take them on a tour, and we could do a taqueria taste test. That would be fun.
Wow.
That would be really fun.
And there is a world of difference, because some are amazing, some are not. And so you never really know until you go by and take a test.
People will put up tents on the corner and serve frescas, which are different fruity drinks.
So they're like these 5-gallon, not buckets, but like a 5-gallon glass jug.
Yes.
It's not a jug. I don't even know what you would call those things, but you can see the lemonade or the
mango juice
limon or mango, or you name it. There's all these different flavors, and those are everywhere. So I don't even know where this come up. Oh yeah, because you tried to feed me
because they didn't have any
bean dip. Spanish bean dip, which there's nothing wrong with Spanish bean dip for a lot of Spanish people, but I'm a white guy. I can't handle the spiciness of Spanish bean dip, and she stuck one in my mouth, and it ruined my entire appetite for corn chips.
Yeah, his corn chips were just not plain.
They're like glass jars. Yes, they're like glass jars.
Yeah,
and they're everywhere. And you can swing by, and I don't know how they keep them nice and cold. There's always ice. Heat of the summer, they're all iced down, and they're lined up, and it's hard to resist, y'all. It's just really hard to resist them. But no, that's not something that the entire country or the world has had a chance to experience.
No,
but we do, and so that would be one of the bright side, the bright spots in a lot of the migration and immigration to our country is all of the taquerias everywhere. I don't like the fact that, well, you know what? Here's the thing. Kids, if you remember this, when I was coaching and teaching school those last couple of years, Jamie would sometimes bring snacks for all of my athletes. And believe it or not, they also sell Takis that used to could buy like the big bags of chips. It's hard to find those unless you go to a big store like Walmart or, a Kroger, but you can buy a big 32 pack of Takis now. And she just buy a big old case of Takis.
Well, I made the mistake the first couple of times. This is horrible. Okay. I bought I bought snacks that we liked,
And no one would eat them.
and none of it. He's like, listen. He goes, I don't know how to tell you this, but the snacks that you bought, while you may think they're delicious, my
Yeah.
kids want nothing to do with them. And I'm like, what do you mean? I bought like Snickers and
Oh,
Milky
right.
Ways
And
and
so
like the good stuff, right?
it was so that's she's right. So what these kids view as the good stuff, and listen, I taught white and black and brown kids. It wasn't just brown.
No.
It was all
The
types of
culture
kiddos.
here is we want everything to set our mouths on fire.
And so the lollipops that they wanted were like, I forgot what they called them. My gosh, those were so good. Do you remember the name of those things? It's a special brand, but they're like,
I know what they look like.
elotes. Is they call them elotes, but they're a little candy. It's corn on the cob, but it's not really corn. It's a hard candy, but it has this hot, spicy stuff all over it. And these kids would eat that stuff up. White kids, black kids, brown kids. That's all they wanted. I wish I could tell y'all what they were called. I see a lot of name ideas, and none of those look familiar to me. If I saw it once, I remember it. But no, it was really neat. But I don't even know where this is going, Jamie, where it started from.
All I'm saying is that it's hard to find regular Fritos at the convenience store now because there's so much cultural food there. And poor Lester and his bean dip did not, or he had to eat bean dip with a finger that day, and he was not pleased on that.
It's okay.
But we were talking about Buddy and Steph and their road trip, and all you could think about probably is that they had to ride alone, and who would feed them bean dip?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So when they're riding alone, who's going to feed Buddy his bean dip?
I bet Buddy doesn't eat bean dip. There's not a lot of people that I know that eat bean. You were the first person in my whole life ever.
No way.
Yay.
Oh, wow.
Number one, that I tried bean dip.
Yeah.
I've never tried bean dip before.
Oh.
And you're the only person to date that I know that eats bean dip. Do any of you eat bean dip?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you guys know about bean dip? And if so, do you eat it? Because I love that stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I can also eat the pecani sauce and all the things with different chips. But I'm just saying that on a road trip while you're driving.
No, somebody says no.
Oh, look at what I'm saying. No. Come on, y'all. Sheesh. Thank you
I'm
for
not
the
alone.
one lady who joins me in loving some bean dip. Never had it. Never will.
So the thing is,
It gives me gas as somebody. Well, to each his own, okay? And some have never heard of. Do we have any we can show them? We probably don't have any
Actually,
bean
I think
dip.
I do.
If she does, y'all have to see this and bring a finger. Just bring me a finger and I'll eat it right here in front of everybody. I don't even care. So your belly gets used to stuff, y'all. Your belly does get used to it. A lot of times whenever I would do a cooking video, everyone would go crazy on me. Like, oh my God, you're just going to do these horrible, horrible things. And that's not always the case. If your body gets used to things and you don't have issues the way some people do, it's okay, love. Jamie really wants to find a can of bean dip. I don't even know why we would have it in our pantry because I probably would have already eaten it late night. I'm probably have eaten it already with my. Oh my God, she found plain Fritos. Who makes those? Frito-Lay? Yeah. So Frito-Lay makes Fritos, but now they have thousands of other flavors. So sorry. It's okay. No, but my favorite cakes are Twinkies. Everyone knows that I love Hostess Twinkies. They're made from Hostess, right?
Have you ever heard of a Chocodile?
No.
Oh, it's a chocolate covered Twinkie.
That wouldn't be my thing. I just like regular plain Twinkies. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you all this. We have a lot to talk about, but first things first.
I like it when we talk food because people can relate.
Honey buns. Yes, I like honey buns. That was my childhood favorite, but I've evolved. I'm no longer in the childhood honey bun eating. Now listen.
I love oatmeal cream pies.
Oh, Jamie knows what I'll do. If we ever get honey buns that someone sends to the pigs, don't think that I won't take a couple for myself and heat them in the microwave, get them nice and warm, and eat them with a fork. Or cinnamon rolls. I can heat up some cinnamon rolls and put them in the microwave just for 30 seconds, get them a little bit warm, and get me a fork because they get really sloppy on your fingers.
There's nothing better than Pillsbury cinnamon rolls, though, like straight out of the oven. But I like mine to be crispy, and then I like to dip mine in the icing. I don't really want the icing to soak in. I don't know about you.
On the what?
When you make cinnamon rolls out of a can.
You don't want in a can. Oh, no, I don't know. I've never done that.
No, the kind that you've never broke open the Pillsbury thing and put them in the
So
dish?
I make the little biscuits that way, the little fried biscuits that everyone gets mad at me about. Yeah, I ain't doing that no more. Not on camera.
But hold on, but you've never made cinnamon rolls?
I've seen them, but I've never made those. I'm not really a sweets kind of person. And like I say, I only eat sweets when y'all send stuff to the pigs. Then I'll sometimes grab me one or two or three. You know what? Sometimes I just equally share with the pigs.
Full
Whatever.
Full of it. He likes
No,
sweets, but he
no.
likes certain sweets.
I share. Okay, I'm full of it. I thought you said I'm full of that I don't share with the pigs.
No. I'm saying you're full of it that you like sweets, but you like certain sweets.
Oh my God.
Mostly
pecan
vanilla
rolls.
sweets.
Yes, pecan rolls, but I like them warm. I don't want to take a cold one or one room temp. I want to warm mine up and make it warm and eat it with a fork.
Have you ever heard of monkey bread?
Monkey bread? No.
Have y'all ever heard of monkey bread? So my grandma makes this thing. I've never made it myself, but this is how I assume that it's made. I assume that it is the cinnamon roll.
Sandra, you're right.
Chopped up, or pulled apart, and it's little chunks, and she puts it into like a loaf pan, like I forget what you call those, like a jelly roll pan. And no, not a jelly roll. You know, the circle kind with the middle. And then you don't know. And then there's like a brown sugary thing with pecans that go on that.
I'm so sorry, but that's just not. I'm
gonna figure out how to make monkey bread, and we're gonna have to taste test that because you would love it.
Well,
Bundt pan. Thank you for the words. Oh my God.
I know what a bundt cake is.
Yes.
I've seen bundt cakes. Yes.
Yeah, monkey bread. Ooh,
y'all call it monkey bread. Well, there
monkey
you go.
bread is fabulous. You would love it.
Is that something that you guys have up north? Like rhubarb pie? Because it's just not really.
It's cinnamon with pecans and caramel.
Okay. It just sounds like a really sweet meal that I'm not really into sweets a whole lot. Unless they send something to pigs.
Lie to yourself about
that.
Because if I baked a yellow or a white cake tonight, Lester Morrow would have a corner of it, okay, with icing on it.
Don't look. Look that way over there. Let's see how well y'all know me. Do not look at the computer. I'm curious if you know this. I will only eat sweets if I have what to go along with it. Don't say it, Jamie. I'm going to see if you guys know. How well do you know Lester? I will only have sweets if I have something to go along with it. Okay, you can look now. You've had plenty of time to answer. Jamie,
they all know.
What do I have to have with it?
Milk.
And if we don't have it, I will not eat the sweets. I will let donuts, I will let anything sit there. I will not eat it unless there's milk. Because I don't dip it in milk. Never. I never dip it. But I need cold milk. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. Jamie doesn't like cold milk, but I do. Me and them bottle babies out there will drink that stuff all day.
So
not
gross.
Together. We don't share bottles. We don't share our babas, but we do. Whenever, that's the worst thing about having bottle babies is the fact that we always have to have milk on hand.
No, that's not the worst thing. The worst thing is that I won't let him. I'm like, do not drink the rest of that milk.
And that makes me so mad.
That's the only milk that's left.
She's going to choose those babies over me.
Yeah, I am. Because guess what? They need that to sustain life. Lester Morrow
and
needs it to sustain
they scream
sanity.
louder than I do. They
It's
scream
true.
louder than I do. They will scream and holler and yell.
But if I baked a cake, he would cut a corner out and have him a lovely piece of cake, even though he doesn't like sweets, and would have milk, and that would be his late night snack tonight.
So I don't really think it came out that way, what we meant to say. So I will eat sweets, but my body doesn't crave them. So I'm not the kind of not the kind of guy who says, hey, let's run over to Panera or who sells sweets around here. Like, let's run to the bakery and grab some donuts. I never. Now, I know that we do that sometimes if the kids are here and they want to have a kolache and a donut hole, then we'll do that. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's not what he craves.
No.
I crave carbs. I am madly, truly in love with carbohydrates. Like, I don't really need anything else in life. My body always craves carbs. But Lester, he also doesn't eat between meals, which is something I envy.
But you know what I do, and this is horrible, is this is how the devil gets to me. And Jamie knows this, and she hates it about me, but I cannot help it.
I don't hate it about you.
You have to hate it about me.
I don't hate it. I don't care.
You've all seen the little cartoons where you have the little devil and the little angel, and they always compete for who's going to win your soul. So it never fails. Never. This never fails, and I am not exaggerating any of this. Jamie will normally go to her office between the hours of 9 o'clock p.m. and 10, and she will finalize her video for the next day. She'll do a few things for work to have everything ready for the next day. And while she does that, I will normally sit here and either watch the news, because that's the old man in me coming out. I'll watch the news. I'll sometimes play a video game with one of my kids. We play online, so we have the video game with the headsets. I can do that with my sons, or I'll sometimes mess around with little things. But she comes to the couch to sit down with me to watch TV together. And we have our favorite shows, either Netflix or Hulu, whatever we're watching, sometimes just YouTube videos. And this makes me so mad because within a minute, maybe less, she sits down, she takes her phone, she's watching her videos.
Because I'm waiting for him to finish whatever he's watching.
No, we're watching together, but you don't really enjoy what I'm watching too much. And so what I think that she wants to watch, next thing I know, she's her video is playing, blaring, she's asleep. And sometimes she'll...
You're so full of it.
Am I making this up, Jamie? Look me in the eye. I don't blink. I will look you right in the eye and tell you this is...
I do not always sit next to you and open my phone up. It's only if you
don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. I'm not saying that we don't share moments. We sit together. We have reclining chairs that recline together, and we will sit side by side, and we'll watch. I'll put on a movie or a show, and I will watch it wide awake. But I want to fall asleep. I want to. And I look over, she's sound asleep every single night.
The second I sit still.
Go ahead.
The second
this is
I
the
sit
truth.
still, I'm done.
The moment she sits still, she's done.
So most nights,
that's a man thing. How many women wish their men would not just conk out the minute they lay down or sit down? They want them to stay awake and have conversation and enjoy a movie together.
I will stay doing things around here while he's watching the news or all of those things, and then I will go do my work and get that all prepped. And when it is time to sit down, I can't stay awake anymore. Like, I'm just done. And usually lately I've been just saying, I'm just going to go to bed, because I know the second that I sit down, I'm done.
So last night she got mad. It's Saturday night. Saturday night, y'all. You should live a little bit. And so we're sitting here watching a movie together, and she falls asleep within a minute. And I'm thinking, dang, I ain't even near tired yet. I'm not even near tired. So I'm like, what can I do to fall asleep? So I just go eat something. And that's when the devil starts playing tricks with me. Because if Jamie were awake, I would never go in there and make me a late night meal. Never. But because she's asleep and I'm kind of like lonely, food is my escape. And it's the devil telling me what to make. Nachos, or heat up some this, or heat up some burritos, anything. Just cook something, eat something. So last night, the reason that she got mad at me, I got mad at her. One of us got mad at somebody.
I wasn't mad. I was asleep.
Yes. And we're watching a movie together. And after the movie's about to go off, she goes, well, I'm going to go to bed now. I'm like, you've already been in bed for an hour and a half. She goes, well, I'm going to go to real bed now because my neck hurts.
Who let somebody sleep in the recliner for an hour and a half? And all I could think about is, was I snoring? Did I keep him awake? Did I, like, what happened? He's like, well, here's how it went. So he's re-explaining this to me today. He goes, I put my leg over on you.
I put my leg on her.
And you went like this, and then you stopped. So I wiggled my leg, thinking that I could keep you awake.
To keep her awake. Even Mr. Hank come by, and he was doing that kneading. He's like, her phone's blaring. She's asleep, and Mr. Hank is doing this to her chest. And I'm like, she's going to wake up. She has to wake up. And Mr. Hank
was not blaring.
Mr. Hank would not stop, and she just slipped right on through it. And so then I'm like, are you sick? Is something?
That's what he asked me today.
Are you sick?
He goes, are you not telling me something?
Tell me the truth. Are you sick?
I'm tired. I'm like, I'm 42 years old. Apparently this is what menopause does to you. I'm just tired. I wake up by 6 and I don't stop going until that moment. And then my body's like, thank God you stopped, because we're done here.
But
I'm tired.
I know. And that's
and
fine.
What's funny, he goes, lately, he goes, right before you sit down, you actually look really tired too. So I just want to know, like, are you feeling bad? No.
Well, Jamie doesn't tell people when she's sick. She's the kind of guy who will just tough through it. And I'm like, if you don't feel well, you let me know. I need to know what I can do if she's not feeling well, because she just sits down and like she just conks out and doesn't matter what. Anyway, the whole time that she's sleeping, I'm sitting there just eating like a weirdo, just eating anything, and a lot of it. So I could already had a full meal. We could have a full meal at 7 o'clock in the afternoon, the evening. And most people would say, hey, my belly's full. I'm good. And that's the way I should be. So I don't go and grab sweets. I will go grab other stupid stuff. And it's the devil making me do it.
It's usually the homemade nachos. I usually wake up to the leftovers, and the really bad times are when there's not quite enough big chips left and he has to use the bottom of the bag, and he gets really frustrated because all these little pieces are left. So what happens is he leaves it on the coffee table, and then the dogs
come by at night,
and take that off of the table for him. They're like, oh, let me clean up for you, Dad. And then there's chip crumbs all over the floor, because after they got the chips on the floor, they realized they didn't really want to eat plain old tortilla chips. No. That really wasn't their jam at all.
I've gotten better, though. I started using paper plates, and then I'll make myself a funnel. And so after I'm done, when there's tiny chips, I'll just make me a funnel, and then I'll do this like blowing a horn to get all the chips in. What's wrong? But I end up.
It's better than a dog bowl.
I end up leaving those funnels laying around, and next thing she goes, "What is this? What is this over here?"
Because in the dog bed are a collection that the dogs have hoarded from Lester's late night snacks. Like tonight, there were 2 plastic cups, and a paper plate, and a fork inside the dog bed.
Yeah, the dogs enjoy. Okay, hold on. You forget about how many brawls of yours they take to the dog bed.
I don't understand what's going on with that. I have like no bra. First of all, I have a strapless bra because they eat the straps off of my bras.
Yeah, so every morning in the dog bed, there's a chewed up bra and chewed up whatever I had for my late night snack, which is not really that late. It's like 9 or 10 o'clock. But this is the weirdest thing. Once I give in to the devil, once I submit to the devil, then I have all this peace and I can sleep like a baby. So I don't get that. I hate to have to admit that to you.
You have like a full belly and you're like a little baby, like, okay, we can go to sleep.
But I'm sure that little angel is saying,
I've had my milk like a little baby.
Lester, don't do it, Lester. They're like, he wins again, and off the bed I go, and I sleep like a baby with a full belly. And that's why I'll never be in the kind of shape I was in back in the day. I guess it's over. I give in to the devil. So I guess there could be worse things, y'all. There could be worse things. Before you start pointing fingers at me, don't forget, all of them are pointing back at you. So it could be worse, Jamie. There's worse addictions than having a late night snack.
Yeah. So I don't have the late night cravings.
Dang devil, says some. Dang devil. My mom always told us that blame it on the devil. Don't listen to the devil. WWJD. What would Jesus do?
I have the 2 p.m. devil. You have the late night devil.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
2 p.m. I'm hungry every day. It doesn't matter if I just ate. It doesn't matter if I'm going to eat.
I agree. Lester could do a whole lot worse than having a late night snack.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's true.
No, and then I'll also answer. No, I still take a different kinds of nighttime concoctions, but the thing is, my doctor's trying to make me not. And I don't know why they would do that. Jamie can probably explain that better. But every time I go in for a nighttime concoction, he's trying to alter ways that I can find a way to get a good night's sleep.
Just not a good, some of that is just not a good long-term solution.
For like my kidneys or something, or something, my liver. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, y'all. So I just think either way, it's horrible. But let's not talk about me. There's a lady who's reaching out from another. You want to talk about this right now or not really? This is the Florida lady with the flooding.
You can.
Well, so this is Jamie's story, not mine. It's Jamie's story a lot more than mine. But, we talked about Steph and Bud making a trip to, Appalachia, doing a mission of goodwill. A mission of goodwill.
Yeah.
That's the word a mission of goodwill.
Yeah.
And so we've had a lady reach out who's trying to move along an animal that she can't care for. And I will not give any details. My whole thing is Florida seems like a really long way to transport an animal, a larger animal. And so we are really going to have to think about this and then pray about it. Just not pray late night, because you know who's going to win if we pray late night. So we'll have to say our prayers about it, think about it, talk about it. But I feel bad for any animal who's struggling. and who's not.
Who went
So-
through some hurricanes and who
It was mostly just flooding. The
Yeah.
hurricane winds were not as bad, but the
Yeah.
flooding was.
Yeah.
And so she's struggling trying to find help
Yeah.
in that. And so I don't, Donna, I just don't think I can talk a whole lot about, oh my gosh, everyone knows it's a horse. How do y'all know that? I guess because we would never do that for a goat.
It's not true.
We would never travel to Florida for a goat. I love goats, y'all, but we would never travel to Florida for a goat. I love goats, y'all. You know I love them. Stop it. You know I love goats. But I've always felt like there has to be a limit of how far you should, for the humane reason of travel with a large animal who's going to want to stand. And I just don't know the hours. I've only been to Florida a couple of times, and I just don't know if that's safe. I guess people do it all the time.
People do. It would have to do. We would hire a hauler. in
Oh, would
this.
we?
Yeah, I would feel way more confident when someone who does that professionally.
Oh, someone goes, it's not you, Lester, because it's Jamie. They know your thing for horses. So can I'm not going to. We're going to say too much. If I keep talking
We're
it up.
in the very preliminary stages of discussion right here.
Yeah, it's been only an email back and forth, and then the lady says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to win her over. So she goes out and makes a text. She records with her phone an actual video from right then and there in real time and sends it to her. And then of course Jamie's like, but look at the fences, look at the yard, look at the mud. And I'm like, Jamie, but I don't know what to say. I don't want to act like we wouldn't do it, but I just want to make sure that we do it what's right for the horse.
Yeah.
And so do not start asking questions about names. And we just got to think long and hard. We have the fall now. We have winter coming up. We already have our horses that kind of have their own routine. And you guys don't probably know the difficulties with the horse routine, because if they'll run you over, because I guess I've never established boundaries. So when they're hungry, can we just call it hangry? When they're hangry, it gets to be pretty rough out there. Not all of them, but there's a few. I'm not going to say any names. There's a few who will run you right over to get to the food bucket. There's only one. Okay, fine. There's one.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and then don't already try to suggest that we give to somebody else, friends. If somebody reaches out and they want you to have this animal, then it wouldn't be right to say, I don't want it, but I'll let so-and-so have it, because they want to see it with you. And so stop suggesting who we give it to or who we contact. We will work it out, or we'll let her know we're not able to. So
I have a lot of questions, and there are other things going on here that preceded this conversation happening today. So like Lester said, we have some things that are here that are disruptive. Is that the right word for it?
Can I just tell them what my plan was, and then they can all hate me, or they can at least have a nice way to disagree with me?
No, I'm not ready to share.
We're not ready to share that yet. Okay, fine. Jamie and I talk all the time. when these kind of things come up, we start thinking about plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, alternative to A. We'll kind of play around with different things, but we'll figure it out, y'all. We will figure it out, and if we can't, we'll find a way to try to help the lady with her situation.
Right.
Okay.
So more to come on that, but that is very preliminary, and we're just thinking through some things, and we have other circumstances here that have been brewing, and just give us some time. That's all I'm saying. Just give us some time.
Nancy says, am I going to make the last video? Nancy, that's funny that you say that, because I made it today. It's actually, now Nancy's coming to us from Facebook. So Facebook always gets in a little bit later than what YouTube does, but we do have the last and final chapter of our picture show, our video, what do they call that? A picture story with all of the voodoo shirts. And we played that at the beginning of the live. So you can either wait till the live is over and then back it up. You can't back up a live video. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You can't back up a live video to watch it now because a live is recording in real time and showing to you all in real time. But when it's over, you can see it. And then I will also take it and post it to the I'm a Survivor channels, Facebook and YouTube, probably tomorrow during the day sometime. And that is the 5th and final chapter. It's a short chapter, but Jamie and I went through our entire phones while in the tub. She's going through her phone. I'm going through all of my phone, emails, pictures, and we put everything that we have. And so if you don't see yourself in either chapter 1 through 5, then we either didn't receive it.
YouTube can back up a live. Facebook cannot. Not until
YouTube can back up a live?
Not until it's posted later.
YouTube?
Facebook.
Yeah, so Facebook, once it's posted,
then it can be backed up. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but yes,
the
chapter 5 is here.
So if you still have not seen your pictures, Miss Nancy was her name, right? If the comment's already gone. Miss Nancy, I'm hoping that you'll find yourself in this particular final chapter here. But if not, and you can't find it anywhere else, then by all means, send me a picture and I'll just stick it up somewhere at some point, and I'll find a video and stick you up on there somewhere. That will be wonderful. We want to make sure that we say thank you to you guys who were able to help us with a really large expense. And thank you.
Yes.
Anywho, what else is going on, sweet girl?
People are asking about Lenny. I know you talked about that Lenny wasn't feeling too hot.
Lenny has a bobo. He's fine. Lenny's fine. Don't worry.
Lenny is fine. He does have a sore leg.
I will give Lenny a much thorough look over tomorrow, and being that the vets will be open, if I have to take him in, then I will. But Lenny is limping on one leg, pretty much hobbling on one leg. And I'm like, oh Lord, if it's not one thing,
he's hobbling
it's
on
another.
3 and taking the weight off of the other.
Yes.
But he's eating, he's drinking.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing like
Leonard
crisis, in that space.
I don't think it's a crisis. No, we've had goats who've gotten hurt in different ways, injured, but and the worst thing about it is we don't know how it happened. Jamie thinks she might know just based on little things here and there, but it could be.
There's so many things.
It's not a wound. It's not a wound. There's
not
no
open. There's nothing
wound.
like that. He's a little limpy.
Lenny is a lot of people's favorite. So a lot of people saying how much they love Lenny. And my question is this: you have to pick him as a favorite because of how he looks, right? The beauty of Lenny.
He's a handsome.
He's a very
fella.
handsome goat. But here's what I'm going to say, and it's going to probably come out wrong. And I'm just going to say it this way. I see a whole lot of personality in other goats, more so than I do in Lenny.
Lenny's kind of stoic and silent.
So you agree with that then?
Yeah, Lenny is not a he was neutered.
He's not a big galoot like Brady.
No, he's very much like the
he's not
silent,
he doesn't have little man
back.
syndrome or tiny man syndrome and Napoleon complex like Ringo.
No.
He's not a ditzy like Shirley Bird and Sissy and Starla. We have a lot of dingy little girls, okay? Blondes. No offense. It's the cliche, y'all, the little cliche thing. It's just a cliche. we have a lot of sweet ladies out there who are sometimes kind of silly. We just call them silly. But Shirley Bird is one of the most silliest little girls ever. Starla is right behind her. Oh my goodness gracious. And Sissy. But yeah, we'll take care of Lenny. And I didn't mean to scare you all and freak you all out. That was Friday when I mentioned that, I believe. It was Friday when I made that video. And we will take care of that tomorrow and see what has to be done.
He's had pain meds this weekend, so don't feel like he's just waited all weekend to see how tomorrow goes or anything like that. He's had a lot of care this weekend.
Jamie has guided me on all of the things. Jamie does not like to go into pasture with Pig Trudy. Can we just talk about that for a minute?
Hold on. I will go in the pasture with Pig Trudy. I will not carry oatmeal into the pasture with Pig Trudy.
True. Jamie will go in there and do waters. She'll go in there and blow out the area. She'll go
clean
do
out
everything.
the loafing shed. I will do anything.
During feed time, she wants nothing to do. Oh no, someone says Lester's in the dog bed tonight. No, but during feed time, Jamie's like, I ain't going in there, because Trudy acts like a Russian boar. You've all seen those movies or those shows where those Russian boars are just like crazy.
Trudy is
crazy.
like ravaged. Like she is like ravaging. Like like it doesn't matter what gets in her way, she's gonna eat it. And I enjoy my legs, so I don't want to give her the chance.
Oh Lord, I love Trudy, but I am also a little bit nervous when I carry that bucket of oatmeal in there because she can come. Oh boy, she'll knock you over to get to it.
And I just don't. No.
So I don't think it's hungry, y'all. Don't think she's hungry.
No, it's a fun game.
It's a fun game that all the pigs scream and holler. They scream red rum. Red rum. Hold on. How do they do it? Red rum. Yeah. She screams red rum and she runs all around the place and she just it's a fiasco. We've made videos of that. The thing is
though, is that for her it is a game, and for
my legs, it hurts. Yeah.
It hurts, but also the other animals like start to scurry and run, and because they don't want to be like in the middle of that, so it gets very dangerous. And I just am not going to put myself in there. But I will say this: they don't associate me with oatmeal in any way.
No.
So when I go in there to do waters or anything else, they're like, she doesn't have anything to offer us.
Like a bulldozer. She is Miss. I think it's Tiffany. Yes, Miss Tiffany. She is a bulldozer, and there's nothing going to get in her way except for Ringo. Ringo wears the bell, and the pigs respect that.
The pigs absolutely respect the bell.
We can pour that oatmeal in, and I divide it in a lot more than just 4 bowls. We have 4 pigs, so you assume I pour it in 4 different spots. No, I pour it in 8 spots, because what will happen is these pigs start making circles. As Ringo's bell gets closer, they never pull their head out until the last second, and Ringo rears up to come down and pop them. And at the last second, they'll pop their head out and they'll run to the next bowl. And they all move each other around and around and around. So Ringo eats oatmeal as much as any of our pigs do.
That would explain his belly.
Well, yeah, that explains his belly. Okay.
But you know what? Ringo's earned that spot. Ringo,
for sure he has.
Ringo's the oldest animal that. The legacy animal, because I don't know that he's actually age-wise.
Imogene would probably be older as far as the survivors. Imogene, who is the namesake behind I'm a Survivor.
Sorry.
In the Little's pasture for sure. Yeah. So Imogene's probably older than Ringo, but Ringo runs the Little's pasture. Absolutely. And listen, that means Carl runs from Ringo. The big birds want nothing to do with that darn belly. Hear that bell coming and they run the other direction.
Dinky Darrell.
And Ringo loves it too. He loves having that bell and just knowing that bell means something. But getting back to Lenny, he's going to be fine, but we have kept an eye on him and we've been giving him his pain meds and stuff. And we'll decide tomorrow if we think it warrants loading up and going to the vet.
Yeah.
And if he goes to the vet, it will not be in a trailer. He'll go in the back of the truck. Lenny has been in the back of the truck before.
Yeah.
He rides fine. I don't mean the back end. I mean the back seat.
Back seat. Yeah.
I'll put the seats up. We keep that farm truck for a reason. The seats go up and it leaves a really big back seat.
Yeah.
A huge space. The
whole back cab opens up.
My truck, the newer truck, you can put the seats up, but there's this built-in toolbox,
which makes no sense.
And so you don't really have seats up. Yeah, you don't really have any extra space. I mean, you don't want to get your seats messed up, so you can put them up for that reason.
I guess,
but for moving animals around, you don't want to put them in that truck.
No.
Plus, it's newer. And then Jamie's car's a no-no. You're not putting any animal in Jamie's car, but the farm truck is perfect for moving animals around.
It also has I guess it's plastic floors. I don't know. Like it had there's no carpet inside the farm truck.
Yeah. All that stuff, even those come out, you can spray them off or anything else.
Right.
Remember the little baby ostriches, how we would carry them around in the farm truck and they were sitting in the back seat. They were all little baby ostrich birds looking around.
Yeah, they were cute.
That was fun. So anywho, what else you got, Jamie Cakes?
People want to know if you recovered your drone. You have not.
So listen, I'm just going to say this. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm fair to both platforms, meaning Facebook and YouTube. But I had taken the Argo over to Jake's place, and I could not reach the bottom to fill around. And I don't know. Now, there have been a lot of suggestions. Take a rod and reel, a treble hook, a magnet. I just don't know exactly what we're going to need, a big net. So I've not really made any efforts. And I'm going to say this because I was kind of scared because I was there alone And when you're by yourself and you have to go submerge yourself into dark, murky water, it doesn't matter if it's broad daylight. It's still scary. And what's crazy so what I want to do is go back over there when Jake's with me and have Jake and I together go out there. That way, in case I don't come up, he can either call help or dive in and help me, or vice versa. But I just feel safer with somebody. So just be patient. But here's the thing. I have gotten a couple of more pictures and videos from the drone.
That thing is still transmitting, which is crazy.
Well, it's slowed down a lot.
It is true.
And I'm thinking, so is
the
it just
battery's
like
probably dying?
So anyway, so I don't know, but the drone motor is not on. But the battery.
No, but the camera is like a separate part that like like the drone itself flies, but there's a camera part that is separate.
It's on a little gimbal, they call it, and it's separate. Now it still uses the same battery, but but that
syncs to your phone.
It syncs to my phone.
Remote.
Oh no, it doesn't go to the remote.
Yeah.
The camera syncs to my phone, and so I can either take out my SD card and retrieve pictures, videos, all that data, because it saves to an SD card, or I can use my phone and try to retrieve data. And it's also will send stuff to the cloud. Now, I know this sounds kind of high techy, and I'm not a techie person, but my phone will alert me that there's a new picture, and I'll look at it. I'm like, Jamie, that's the house. So it sends me pictures and short video clips. Really, really, really neat.
So normally it does that in real time as he's flying it?
Oh, yeah. If I were flying it, it would do it in real time.
Yeah. So now that it's not connected to that remote anymore. It's only connected to his phone. So I know that there's a delay. It's just very strange.
So I can't take my phone and connect to I cannot connect and do a live video and see what my phone's recording.
The cloud of it's very technical. Anyway, it's happening. It's kind of neat.
Snorkel up. It's still, if I could see the bottom, it would be one thing. I can swim fine. I swim great. Even my bad shoulders and knees, I can still swim. I can dog paddle like the best of them. But
I could never go to the bottom.
Going underwater is scary. And so I will say this, it's cold and it's muddy, because I did walk into the water and it's cold and it's muddy. And so I will, if I can't, so Jake and I have very different schedules. But if I can't link up with Jake, I will at some point get in there and do what I have to do, because it's not moving water. And so we know from the day that we lost the drone where in the vicinity that it's at. And now we know there's fish in the water, which you can see fish swimming around. So it's not so nasty you can't see fish. You see the little minnows and stuff. So I knew there were fish in the water, but I'm just a little bit scared to go in.
I could never go to the bottom because I'm too buoyant.
A casting net might be a great idea, and we have a casting net here.
Well,
No, I traded it in with the boat. When we traded the boat in, I sent all my stuff in. You may have kept your rod and reel though, didn't you? We didn't keep our casting net. I left my life jackets.
Treble hook on there. I just don't know if I have a big enough one, but we can buy one. The other thing that I thought about is that whenever Xander was little, one year for Christmas, my brothers got him this grappling hook thing that was like this big. It looked like a giant treble hook. I wouldn't let him use it, and that would work if we could find one of those.
Well, we will see. So everyone's saying Jake has a casting net, and Jake probably does have a casting net. Now, a pool net, I don't think is going to work because it's too deep.
It's too deep and it's too far from the edge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's out in the middle of the pond. You're not going to be able to do it from the side of the pond. You would have to have one of those really, really long, and I don't know if you'd be able to extend one out that far.
No, that drone would be too heavy anyway. To like the leverage on that would be like when you get a pole that long. I don't know if you've ever scooped out like the leaves out of the bottom of a pool.
You almost bend and break.
But it takes so much strength to be able to pull that up and get anything of that weight up, because the drone is heavy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, it's been interesting. It has been interesting, even though I hope, and I don't know if that drone will ever fly again, because there's a lot of intricate parts that I don't think should get wet. But like Jamie said, the camera, even though it hangs on the drone,
the camera looks like a mini. It looks like a GoPro.
It's a GoPro. It is like a GoPro.
Yeah,
and it just hangs
real
there.
Tiny.
They're built tough, y'all. A GoPro is built tough, and
but the drone itself is the mechanism that flies and that communicates with the remote. So it's very intricate, and I never knew any of those things until Lester and But it's pretty cool.
But we'll see. And listen, I guess the worst thing to say is it's not the first drone that I've lost. I hate to even have to say that.
When
but,
it happened, I might have said that.
Jamie has said that too many times. That's one thing I love to do. I love flying those drones around. And we've flown several. Jamie has a couple of sponsorship drones. Of course, that one right there I bought because I wanted a really good one that goes to my phone where I can interchange videos with you all that I can use on my videos. Man, I made a good video today. It wasn't recorded today, and a lot of folks didn't realize that, but I had recorded some stuff back in June or July when all of the bulls, including little Gary, was out with all the cows. And at that point, a lot of the babies weren't born yet. But I took my drone up at the JL and I was flying it around in the most beautiful of green grasses. I put music to it, and it just showed how happy the family of Longhorns and Gary were. Cute and just fun video. And what I tried to do was, instead of people just watching a video of a drone flying around, I tried to ask questions along the way to kind of like make you thought provoke. You know that word, like provoke some thought, and to test your IQ. I even called it, I said, Longhorn IQ, test your Longhorn IQ. And so I try to find ways to type in and put little captions here and there, asking you questions about which animals did this and who does that and who does this. And here's one that I bet that a lot of people won't know. Now, if you've seen the video, you may know. Darn it, I can't ask it now, can I? Because people are going to.
Don't ruin it.
I just want to say, who is the one Longhorn who can move Jolene? Everyone knows that Jolene is our wrecking ball. She's a tough cookie, friends. And there is one Longhorn that will move Jolene along like that. And that was a part of the video that I asked. That was a sample of. Yeah. You guys have seen the video already. No, it's cute. But I love those cows. And we certainly miss little Gary. Yes. But we're going to try to find ourselves a big stone. I asked Jamie, we have a router. We bought ourselves a router that we were going to do some stuff that we never did. Maybe some stuff. We've never used it. It's a Makita, and it has a battery, the same battery that goes to our blower. And I asked Jamie, if I get like a piece of sandstone, maybe a piece of sandstone, can you use a router to write in stone? Or do you have to use some kind of a chisel set? I have no idea.
They make lasers and other things that do that.
No, but I want to do it myself. I don't want to have someone. I don't want like a tombstone.
We're going to be YouTubing that, is all I can tell you. We're going to be YouTubing that.
So I don't know, but I would love to have a hand in that. I mean, it's one thing to go. I don't think we're going to buy a tombstone and have someone sit there and do all the tombstoning and all of that. But I would love to just buy a slab of some kind of something like that you can chisel into, like sandstone. Sandstone's soft, right? Sandstone.
Maybe I don't know.
Sandstone stuff you can actually scratch. You could actually take a key and scratch into sandstone. Oh. But I don't want to take my key and scratch in little Gary. You know,
we don't really have sandstone up north, I don't think. Not that I'm aware of.
A lot of the homes right here are built in sandstone.
Oh, that's what sandstone is?
Sandstone yes. Oh. Sandstone is like lighter weight, and you can scratch into it. You can scratch into sandstone. It's soft. Someone says it's very soft, even though it's stone. Anyway, I just thought it would be an idea that I could take the router, the handheld router that runs on a battery, and just do our own artwork on it. I don't know how many I would ruin though. I'd be like those guys with a bad tattoo.
You better get a test plate.
You ever seen a bad tattoo where they spell a name wrong or something? Gary's tombstone, I ended up making a mistake and spelling something wrong. I was going to say
Gory instead of Gary.
I know, right?
That'd be horrible.
Gory. Do you have to go gory?
Well, what else would you mess up?
Not gory. I wouldn't name it. Oh God, Jamie, that's horrible. Gory. Anyway, our hour is up. You want to look at your game real fast before it's over?
Nope.
Jamie
I've
had
got
a game.
I'll save it for another day.
Someone sent her a game and they wanted us to play it on a live video.
We'll do it another day.
We've never played it. Y'all, maybe y'all have. It's called Scatagories.
Yeah.
Scatagories?
Yeah, somebody sent us categories, so we'll play that on another day.
So you've played it before then?
I have not.
So
I had to
just hand me
read
that dice. Hand me that die.
I'll tell you how it goes.
Looky here. This is the little dice that comes with it. It has all of these letters on there, letters of the alphabet. And I'm guessing you have to roll this and then spell words. That's all I'm guessing. I have no idea. Which that could be fun, but I don't know how you all would be able to see this if we do this on a live video.
They would have to play along.
So the lady sent this to us and she says, please open and play on a live. I'm like, oh, Jamie.
Maybe we'll do it on Tuesday. Maybe you can join me on Tuesday. No, with me on Tuesday.
So everyone says it's a fun game. Is it a game that you can play like on a live video? That's my question.
Yes. So there's categories, okay, and you pick a number, and that's the number of the like whoever's person or whatever, and then you have to write down. It comes with a list. I read the directions. So like loud things and whatever the dice said. So that start with L.
So loud things that start with whatever letter you roll.
Yes.
So let's just pretend then. So
Lester.
Really? I was being serious, and you're just making a joke because that could not be allowed because that's not really
that's
what they mean.
Allowed.
Huh?
That's allowed.
No, because you could just create anything that way. So what are some
lion, laughter?
Laughter is loud. Laughter could be loud. A lion could be loud. Laughing could be loud. These are great. That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to play a little bit?
Lester would be allowed, it says.
No, how could Lester, guys? I mean, come on. It has to be like a real thing.
It's a real thing
that we would all know. Okay, stop.
Let's play it on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
We will, if I'm available, then we'll play it on
Longhorn
Tuesday.
Lester, double points.
Oh no! Do you get double points on it? A locomotive. That's a great one. Locomotive is a landslide. Licking.
That's loud. I guess it could be loud.
Licking is loud.
Dog licking can be loud.
I don't know, but we will play it on Timeout Tuesday.
Yeah, let's play a game on Timeout Tuesday.
Timeout Tuesday category. So you all come back Tuesday and watch Jamie's Timeout Tuesday, and I'll try to join her for a little bit, and we will play some categories. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and end this the same way we started it, with a chapter 5 of our photo story of the you wonderful folks who sent us your pictures with your voodoo shirts. And once again, if you've not seen your picture, then we have 4 other chapters already uploaded to some of the pages, and try to find those. And if you just can't find it, then by all means, send it again. I bet you she'll know if she's seen it already. She won't know what chapter she saw it in, but she forgets nothing. I can see a picture and thinking, that's cute. And I'm like, she goes, it's on, you already played that one like 3 times. I'm like, oh, well, it's still cute, but anywho's. And send it to me. Don't send it to Jamie. Send it to me. It's easier when I have them on my phone, since I'm the one who builds them all. So, all right. Anything else you want to end with, babe? Anything going on this bit that you want to talk about, or you have a chance to share it now?
There's a lot going on this week, and I have some videos from date night. I have some videos from some things out in the pasture, and I know that you have a lot brewing as well.
But here's the crazy thing. I have been on a little bit of in a funk with little Gary. I will just say it. And I feel like I have writer's block. I'm just going to say it. I feel like I have writer's block because I think the entire last 2 or 3 days have been about Gary. Gary from a drone, Gary from a this, Gary from a that, Gary from this, Gary from that. And you're not trying to milk it. Is that the right word? Milk it. I saw a fella in the comments says Lester's going to milk it for all it's worth. And that's such a sad thing to say. We loved little Gary. And I don't think that a little rescue bull could ever have more publicity than a little fella that fought with everything he had.
Yeah.
And he served a really neat purpose. And I'm sorry that people feel that way. And that's not my intent. There's a lot of wonderful animals here that we could take time to video. And I will. I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll try to get myself refreshed. And I will. You finding someone being mean? and I will have some fun. I'll find me some content that's not going to be focused on our sweet little Gary. I promise. But thank y'all for being so loving and supportive of little Gary and just the wonderful life that he lived, and for being there for me. And I hope that I did him justice by everything. So we loved him and we miss him. And I know
Very
you guys
much.
feel the same way. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and play the video where we started off at. And I want to say thank you all.
Hank.
And before we leave, everyone has to know that someone has come to say hi.
Hey, Hank.
Do you have to come over here right now and start with, like, Mom's going to fall asleep if I don't? If I don't get some loving now, I'll never get any loving because she'll be asleep.
Look how annoyed he is.
And
He's
you're
like,
probably right, Hank.
he's
She'll
like,
be asleep in no
I'm
time.
not going to be asleep at 9 o'clock.
No, it's 9 o'clock now. So
I am not going to be asleep at 9. It's about 11
What
by
I'm
the time I
saying
sit
is,
down.
you'll go right now into your office to work on tomorrow's stuff, and I'll go to that couch right there and watch me some TV, and you'll come out at 10 o'clock and you'll doze off, and the devil's going to say, hey, aren't you kind of hungry? Hey, Lester, aren't
Yeah, but
you
we're out of bean
craving
dip,
some
so-
bean dip right now? Maybe a glass of milk and some, cinnamon rolls or something. Anyway, thank you all for watching. We love you. We're blessed to have you.
Y'all stay safe, stay well, be kind to each other. It's going to be a very stressful time in our lives. So we will catch you on the next video, and just want to say thank you for giving us the greatest gift of all, which is your time.
Absolutely. And here goes that chapter 5 video.